you open up his RP profile page, man, and it's just you just start salivating. You know, it's a full green route tree.
This is why watching players matters, because like you could see in Minnesota that Diggs was this good, and then he gets to Buffalo. And what happens? He's putting up elite numbers.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
Maybe the greatest catch I've ever seen.
All right, Stefon Diggs is another player that I kind of want to talk about because man, oh man, you open up his RP profile page, man, and it's just you just start salivating. You know, it's a full green route tree. Matt, this guy was an absolute route running god in 2022.
I know that people that follow reception perception and follow me are always like, they're going to be rolling their eyes at, oh, great, we're talking about underrated Terry McLaurin is again. We're talking about underrated Deontay Johnson. Brandon Ayuk, throw him in there. We're talking about him, how underrated he is. And they don't do anything for fantasy. We're talking about these guys again. Like, if they were good, they'd put up this drives me nuts. If they were good, they'd put up the stat. If they were that good, they'd put up the stats like that. The reason I talk about that, we come back to these guys is like, is this guy, Stefon Diggs. We're talking about Stefon Diggs was putting up these numbers, the success rates that you mentioned, maybe not quite to the same height, but he was putting up elite A-tier top 5 success rate versus man and press coverage numbers in Minnesota. And look at the stats. It's 2016, his second season, 84 catches, 903 yards, 64 catches, 849 yards.
Right.
2018, 102 catches, just over 1,000 yards, 1,021. 2019, before he goes to Buffalo, 63 catches, 1,130 yards, and like never more than 9 touchdowns. Well, if he was elite, he'd put up the numbers. He would put Kirk Cousins in that bad. He'd put up the numbers. Elite players find a way. I mean, give me a break, dude. This is why watching players matters, because like you could see in Minnesota that Diggs was this good, and then he gets to Buffalo. And what happens? He's putting up elite numbers. I mean, he's putting up elite numbers because he is an elite player, and now he's with a great, top 2, top 3 quarterback in the league in Josh Allen, and those guys definitely helped make each other into what they are. They make a beautiful, connection there. But yeah, man, Diggs is awesome. I love Diggs.
This is why I put him on the underrated, portion of this podcast, because I think when people talk about Diggs, they far too often say, oh, Josh Allen unlocked this dude, or Josh Allen made this guy. It's like, listen, I buy the argument that Josh Allen unlocked his ceiling. That's 100% true. That's 100% true. But that ceiling was always there. You throw on his game tape and you're just like, okay, he's just torching guys all over the place. And then his reception perception numbers, man, the analytics, when you break it down, dig, out, curl, all over 90% success rate. Matt, I went through the historical data. I believe that this is the first time in RP history that any player has ever done this on the dig, out, and curl, all in one year. Now, people have done it, in other seasons for maybe 1 or 2 of those, at most 2 of those. But for all 3, the dig, out, and curl, to all be over 90% success rate. First time in reception perception history.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a guy who is no stranger to making reception perception history. He still owns the top success rate versus man coverage score in the RP database, and he's up there every damn year, in success rate. He's number 1 among the players charted right now in success rate versus man coverage, and I don't think anybody's going to beat him. He's number 1 in success rate versus zone coverage as well. He's number 2 behind only Justin Jefferson in success rate versus press, and definitely that if there's you're easier to make an argument that Stefon Diggs made Josh Allen than Josh Allen made. But I think it's kind of the same way that I think Josh Allen made himself better, and then I think Diggs unlocked things that within Allen that like Kelvin Benjamin and Zay Jones and some of these guys he was working with before, Robert Foster, probably were not going to unlock. So, yeah, I mean, I think Diggs is right. Like, I think we got to have like a Hall of Fame conversation with Diggs. If he has like 2 more of these type of seasons, I think he's going to be among the best receivers of this era. He's probably already in that discussion. And again, yeah, we're talking about 97th percentile success rate versus man last year. He cleared the 96th percentile against press and zone coverage.
Crazy.
He's there really isn't a weakness in his game either, because 72.2% contested catch rate last year. He generally has just got vice grip hands, 1.2% drop rate in his game sampled. I do see lists, James, where he's like not in the top 5 ranked receivers, which is, it's nuts. I mean, he has to be a top 5 receiver. I'm like raising a big eyebrow at you if you don't have Stefon Diggs among the top 5 receivers in the game right now. He really is that good.
Top 5. He's in the top 3. I mean, to me, it's like, I mean, in the top 3 gets really hard, really quick.
It does get hard. It does get difficult but
if you're asking me right now, as we sit here in 2023, I've got, Justin Jefferson, Stefon Diggs 1-2, and then you could throw Devontae Adams and then Jamar Chase somewhere in that mix, and then again, I know Tyreek Hill is somewhere in that conversation too.
Yeah.
But man, give me Diggs in the top 3, man. Like he's so good. He's just so good. And I mean, and come on, it's like the guy's making highlight plays. The guy's making, he catches a bunch of touchdowns. He puts together a bunch of yards. Like, what more do you want from this man?
He is the Buffalo Bills offense. Like him and Josh Allen. That's it.